Hey friends, I'm Bree. Welcome to my channel. Today I thought I would just do a really casual catch-up video. So it is Tuesday, and this past weekend I participated in the reading rush, and I ended up reading 4 things for the reading rush, which I'm really proud of. So as of today, I have read 94 books, and I kind of wanted to start there because I mentioned how much I had read in a previous video, and I've gotten quite a few messages just asking like how I've been increasing my reading. So first and foremost, I'd like to say that I feel as though the online book community has an unintentional way of making you feel like you don't read enough. And my friend Ashley from Bookish Realm, in a video that she did like 2 years ago, I can't even remember what the video was about specifically, but in that video she talked about how our community feels huge to us, which it is, but in the grand scheme of things, most people in the world don't consider themselves readers. There are people who do not pick up a book at all in a year. So if you read 10 books a year, you are reading 10 books more than someone who doesn't pick up a book at all. And I say all that to say, own whatever it is that you do read. Finally discovered Goodreads in 2015, which was about a year after I discovered BookTube. And I've just been using Goodreads to track my reading ever since. And every year it's just progressively increased. So the first year I think I read 30 books, and the second year I think I read 35 books. And after that I started setting my goal at 60 books, and I was just really motivated to hit that 60. And I was like hitting that and staying kind of in that ballpark. And then, I mean, last year I read 194 books, which is crazy. So some of the things that I've been doing is, first and foremost, look at what you spend your time doing. That has helped me out a lot. So I don't have apps like Twitter and Facebook on my phone. I haven't even been on Twitter in 2020. Like, for mental health purposes, I'm taking a break. So I had my husband change my password so I cannot get on. So if Twitter is something that you spend a lot of time on, that is a possibility. For me, it has worked. I'm not missing it whatsoever. And then Facebook, I still have my password too, but I don't have the app. I have to actually get on the computer to get on there. So Instagram is my poison. So that was the most difficult one. And for that, I went ahead and I went into my phone and I actually set an app limit. And I have it set for, I think, an hour and 45 minutes. For the most part, I've done really well. There are plenty of days where I don't hit the limit. If I have a post that's doing really well and I want to communicate with my friends and I hit the limit, then I just ignore it for the day. I show myself some grace. I cut myself some slack. I know that there are going to be days where I'm like, I hit the limit and I'm not ready to be done. But for the most part, it is a goal of mine to limit how much I am on there, because I would look up and I'd have spent like 2 hours on Instagram and I just like, wow, I could have spent that 2 hours reading a book. Are there ways that you can incorporate reading into what you are doing? So as a mom, I just kind of luck out because I have laundry to do, I have dishes to do, I have dinner that needs to be made. I can incorporate audiobooks into all of those things. So just figure out when you can slide reading into your daily routine, and that helps out a lot. And then for physical books, so I listen to audiobooks so much that when I finally would sit down to read a physical book, it felt like it took me forever. So one weekend I set my Forest app on my phone for 45 minutes. If I do homework or any reading, I usually set a timer for 45 minutes and then I give myself a 15-minute break. And I just sat there that entire weekend. I focused on how much reading I could get done in that 45 minutes. And every time it was literally between 50 and 58 pages. So after that weekend, I walked away knowing that if I have a day where I want to, like, I'm determined to finish a book, I can look and see how many pages it had, and I knew how many reading sprints I needed to try to incorporate into my day. So that has helped me out a lot as well. Set that time, knowing how much I can get read, so I can kind of figure out how long it's going to take me to read a book so that I can move on to the next one. So reading rush, I read 4 books. The first thing that I read was issue 21 of Giant Days, which is a graphic novel series that I've been reading for a long time. And this series, I think it has like 40 plus books in it, but I really enjoy this series. It follows 3 friends. They're in college. Every issue they basically are getting into some new shenanigans. I just love how different all 3 of the heroines are, but in each situation I feel like they each have their own moment to shine while also using their differences to come together and figure things out. And it's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's really long. There's like 40 plus books in it, so I'm like halfway there, but it's really enjoyable. Once you get into it, it's just like hard to stop reading them. Next, I read Chasing Christmas Eve by Joel Shalvis. I've just kind of made it up in my mind that I'm going to binge this series. With everything that is going on in the world, it is just really lifting my spirit. Next, I read One Perfect Summer by Brenda Novak, which was my first Brenda Novak book. It is more women's fiction, however, there are 3 romances in the book, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up rating it a 4 out of 5 stars. It felt like it was going to be a 5-star read. It follows 3 women that find out that they are sisters because they all take the DNA test on 23andMe. One of the sisters sister's has a cabin on Lake Tahoe, and she's like, hey, let's all meet there and we'll do some digging and figure out how we're related. They were all raised really different. The sister that has the cabin is Serenity, and she had like a really wonderful upbringing, and she has this fear that like, oh my god, did my dad cheat on my mom? Did my mom have an affair? And then Lorelai is the sister who had some bad luck. She was pretty much abandoned and ended up in the foster care system. Regan was raised by a single mom who was like pretty much a real workaholic. Lorelai, I feel like the story really focuses on her the most. She finds out that her husband is having an affair with her best friend. This causes some friction with the heroine Regan, because Regan comes out to her like, yeah, the guy that I've been sleeping with is married. I just wish that we would have got more of the like genealogy, family history aspect. I did feel like everything else kind of overshadowed that, which it was fine, but then the pieces to the puzzle as far as how they were related was just kind of rushed in there at the end. It's one of those cases where it wasn't bad and I didn't mind it, but I went into it like, oh, we're gonna get a bunch of family history type stuff, and it wasn't that. And my last read, which was not on my TBR, was Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. So my friend Stephanie from Steph's Romance Book Talk, she not only sent me this about a year ago, but she also got Kennedy Ryan to sign it. And I knew going into this book that I would have to be in the right headspace to read it. I have heard Kennedy Ryan on podcasts talk about the work that she put in to this book to make sure it was authentic and real and not disrespectful. And so I knew what was going to be in this book. I knew what I was in for. And I literally woke up Sunday morning at like 5 o'clock and I was like, I need to read Long Shot. It was crazy. It's hard to even describe. And so I tossed and turned for like 45 minutes. I was like, no, I'm not ready. I can't do it. But I knew that it was on Audible Escape, and I was just like, you need to take advantage of the fact that the audiobook is available. You can listen to it, like get up and read the book. That's what I did. I got up and I started listening to this, and I did not stop reading until I had it finished. I loved it. It is a book that absolutely deserves all of its hype. It's not a fun book just because it has an absolutely gorgeous cover. Don't be fooled. But in true Kennedy Ryan fashion, it is brutal and it is so beautifully, poetically written. It follows Iris and August, and Iris and August meet at a bar and they are chatting it up about basketball. He is a basketball player. She's a big basketball fanatic, and he later finds out that she is the girlfriend to like his rival, the golden boy named Caleb. We see Iris and Caleb in their relationship. He's very, very abusive, and there's like no holding back with the abuse that Iris faces in this book. It was amazing. It's one of those amazing situations where the heroine saves herself. Definitely deserves all of the hype that it gets. So my current read, I'm continuing on, like I said, with my Jill Shalvis read. So I'm reading About That Kiss, which follows Joe and Kylie. And for some reason I'm blanking on Kylie. I feel like she's someone that's always been around, but maybe more of like in the background. I'm only 4 chapters into this. Then I'm focusing on some Netgally books. So I have 18 books on Netgally, and I just wanted to share some of the ones that I'm like really, really excited for. First and foremost, I have 2 that are coming out April 28th. And the first one is Heiress for Hire by Madeline Hunter. It sounds like a duke dies and this girl inherits some money and she's trying to figure out how and why. And then the other one is The Virgin and the Rogue by Sophie Jordan. Another first for me. I've never read a Sophie Jordan. And in this one, our heroine she gets her period. I started this one today. She gets her period, and I know that like there's a love potion involved, so it sounds like she takes something to help with the cramps and doesn't know that it's actually a love potion, and she ends up having desirous feelings for a guy that is not the guy that she is betrothed to. One of the other ones that I'm really excited for, this one doesn't come out until September, and it is The Secret French Recipes of Sophie Valreau by Samantha Verant. I'm really excited for this one because I read a memoir of hers, The 7 Letters from Paris. I think that was the title, and it was just one of my absolute favorite memoirs a couple of years ago. So I'm really excited to see her writing. It looks like it's a romance. It may be women's fiction, but I just really hope I love it because I really, really loved her memoir. Another April release is I'm Perfectly Happy by Sharina Harris. Okay, so now let's get into some of the physical books that I have actually hauled. I've hauled quite a few books. It's been a while since I did a book haul on my channel, so I'm just gonna go through these really quickly. This isn't even half of the books that I have hauled. If you would like to see a straight up book haul video, let me know down in the comments below and I will do that. I'm just gonna show you guys these. All of them will be linked down in the description box below if something catches your eye. I will have have the title and the author there so you can look into it. So the first one is from Forever Publishing, and that is I'll Be Watching You by Leslie A. Kelly. From what I gather, this follows like a girl that always had like a celebrity crush, and then she actually ends up with a celebrity, and she finds out that someone's kind of been watching their family. They know some secrets. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. This one is from St. Martin's Press. It's Highland Sword by Mary McGoldrick, a Royal Highlander novel. My Kind of Cowboy by R.C. Ryan, which was sent to me by Forever Publishing. I have such a sweet spot for cowboy romances, so I'm really excited for this one. This one is absolutely gorgeous. So A Duke by Any Other Name by Grace Burrows, and this is another one that was sent to me from Forever. Next we have My One True Cowboy by Soraya Lane, and this was sent to me from St. Martin's Press. Next I have The Magnolia Sisters by Michelle Major. This one came out already. It came out at the very beginning of April, and I'm very, very excited to start it. I just got the audiobook from my library, so I'll be starting this one very soon. A gorgeous one from ADRIANA HERRERA. This is American Sweetheart. Sounds like it's two people that have always known they need to be together, and for whatever reason they haven't, and then they find themselves on a plane together going to the Dominican Republic, so I'm just really excited. Another gorgeous cover from Forever Publishing is Can't Hurry Love by Melinda Curtis. Next we have Beachside Beginnings, and this is by SHEILA Roberts, and it's a Moonlight Harbor novel. This cover is just so gorgeous. It's like giving me all the like early summer vibes. I cannot wait to read it. Because I'm in love with Jill Shalvis, I went ahead and picked up Almost Just Friends. I know this is part of her Wildstone series, and it's like the 6th book in this series, but I just really, really wanted a copy. And then because I'm the last person to ever read The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by ABBI Waxman, I went ahead and got me a curbside to go copy from Barnes & Noble. This one is The Two Lives of Lydia, Bird by Josie Silver. I've heard some mixed things about this one, but I am going to be buddy reading it with my sister and my cousin. I'm very, very excited, so I hope that I enjoy it. So yeah, that is kind of my catch-up video, what I've been reading, what I'm currently in the middle of, and some of the things that I'm excited for. Let me know down in the comments below what you've been up to, what you're currently reading. Let me know how you're holding up with all of this. I hope you're well. I hope you're staying safe. I will see you in my next video this weekend, Saturday, on my channel. I will be part of the Social Distance Book Fest, and I will be talking with some amazing romance authors. So make sure that you stay tuned for that, and I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.